Hit inserts and collars. Is there a better way? Hello and welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here with PodiumArcher.com, showing off my new insert system. Now, this is not an original idea and I'm very aware of that, but it always kind of irritated me that Easton never made a hardened component in their hit insert system, and now that they no longer have a closed patent on it and anybody can use it, I figured I might as well run a couple different options. We're going to have the inserts available in 3 different types. We have a titanium, if you want the lightest thing you can possibly use. And then we have 2 different steel options, one at 25 grain and one at 50 grain. These are all threaded in the back, so you can actually screw a fact weight into the end of them. So if you want to manipulate the weight after you build the component, you can. And then obviously a variety of collars for different sizes of arrows. I think we have 5 different sizes. The collar system is intended to be short because I don't want you to have to make your arrow excessively long, which I believe I have brought up a couple of times on this channel when we're talking about collars. Before I get too deep into it, I want to say thank you for your guys' support. And I don't say that enough, and I really should make more of an effort to do that. This channel has grown quite fast and has really good retention on views, and it kind of reinforces to me that what I'm doing matters to you to a degree, so I am trying to put more effort into it. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your support and watching the channel, and if, you know, I want to emphasize this heavily. If you're going to buy products online, if you're not going to go to your store, first off, please go to your local pro shop and buy things there. They need your support more than an online person needs your support. If that shop isn't there, you're not going to be able to go down there and ask them for help at some point. However, if you are going to order it online, I'd appreciate you order it for me. And if you use coupon code MFJJ at checkout, it'll save you a little bit of money. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to do a couple of fitments here and a couple of weight tests. So let's see here. You can probably see it better from there. I'm just going to weigh a couple of these inserts and see how comparable they are. And I have to be honest, I haven't even checked. These came in the other day, and I haven't looked at them. Oh, I had this on ounces for something else. Hang on, change my mode. Boop, 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 grain. I think that's right. So the advantage of like the titanium insert system here is this will make the lightest thing you can possibly make. So if you're trying to use a really high-speed setup, or maybe you don't believe heavily in a lot of FOC, or you want to use a really heavy broadhead, but you don't want to add a whole bunch of insert weight, this is a pretty easy way to do it, because this insert in titanium, which, mind you, is still a hardened component. It's still very hard. It's hard to bend. 15 grains. That's about the same weight as the aluminum insert that comes stock with a 5mm Axis style arrow. But these are universally sized internal, so almost everyone's 204 this will fit in no problem. So that one's 15.1. These are going to roll off here. We're on a slightly uneven surface. It's 14.8. I don't want these to go chasing across the room here. 15, 14.8. 14.8. So looking pretty consistent. I'm willing to bet if I go back and weigh that first one that weighed 15.1, it's probably less than that, but we'll see. 14.8. 14.8. 14.8. So those are, let's see, I think this was the heavy one. 14.8. So even the heavy one, when I started with, is actually 14.8. So that combined with, depending on which collar you'd pick, let's just take, let's see here, Michael went through and found me the different arrows that correlate with these. This is an H. So this is a RIP 350 size, regular RIP, and this is the collar for it. The weight of each collar will change a little bit based off of how big the internal is and the external, but it'll be minimal. These are also titanium collars. Total combination of 22.2 grains for the insert and the collar. That is really light. There's not a collared system that I've seen that weighs less than that, and there's not a one-piece insert system that I've seen that weighs less than that. So if you're trying to get the weight down, it's a really great way to do it. However, you do have multiple options here. The steel is going to be just dang near just as tough. It just weighs about twice as much. So we got a couple of 25 grainers here, and you'll have to excuse our crudeness here, but we just got them and we didn't want to wait for separation and baggies and stuff to make it all pretty. 24/7, 24/8, 24/8, okay. 25/0. And for one reason or another, it seems like this scale skips the 0.9s. So I'm not sure. 24/7, 8, 24/8. 25. Yeah, it skips 0.9 for some reason. Whoops. Please don't go off the counter. 25 even, 24/8. Okay, so I'm willing to bet these are probably actually 24/9 and they're just like right on the edge of it measuring it out. But once again, all very similar weights. So my preferred method to install these, and we'll do one for you just to see what it looks like, is to screw a point into it, insert it with hot glue, let it cool, pull it out, and then heat the point a little bit and unscrew the point. So you can still get the insert system out later if you want. You're not forced to leave it in there. If you want to change it, play with it, etc. If you do hot glue correctly, it actually works really well, and it's very hard to beat a hot glue gun. So we're going to go ahead. Mind you, like I said, we got all these samples of different arrows and collars that fit them. We have all the way down to like a really light spine Rip XV, all the way up to a big old heavy FMJ in diameter. I make collars for all these, so refer to the website for the chart of sizing for what you need in your componentry. But these will be up on the website as soon as this video goes live. But we're going to go ahead and insert this one for fun here. What I like to use personally is my little heat gun. The other advantage to using a hit insert system, and I would not argue this, is it's probably the most aligned system possible. So you can actually even have like a bit of unevenness on the surface of this. Like, you know, you would normally square to try to like do this and straighten it out. You can get away with these being not perfect on a hit system because it goes down inside the arrow so far that it'll typically force it to be straight. So, just like to turn my hot glue gun on there. I'm gonna take, you know me, I'm a titanium fan, so I'm gonna do one with titanium. The collar size is H, so I'm gonna put this on, slide it over like that. There you go. Okay, so screw it all the way in and then back it out a turn. Somewhere in there. So you want a little space in there because if this is super snug, this shoulder height changes a little bit. If you're going to insert these this way, I would encourage you to use your actual broadhead you're going to use to screw this in and get this depth right, because this distance changes from field points to arrows on all sorts of different sizes of stuff. So make sure your tolerance before you put this in, and compare the field point and broadhead that you're using and make sure they have a similar base on them. Set that down. So I like to heat up my hot glue. The beauty of doing it this way is that you don't really ever burn your hand. You're not having to use an open flame or fire. It's warm, but it's not so warm that it's going to like burn my hand off. But if I hold that over it for a little while, the glue will start to get tacky. They're getting there, not quite. Yeah, it's getting better. You just get a little bit of hot glue on the insert itself, and then hold the insert and the point over it, and you'll watch the color of this change, and it looks liquidy and looks like it's going to start dripping off at a certain point. Okay, now if you're patient and you let this sit like we just did, you should be able to peel it right off, right easy. You should just be able to go like that. And the hot glue comes right off. And then you can take this little bit of hot glue and put it back with the other hot glue and reuse it. Now the only catch is this is probably not going to want to unscrew because there's a little bit of glue on it. So then, what I like to do, if you have your Easton loop pliers that have those little big inlets and it's easy to hang on to this, your hand. So I'm going to turn the heat gun back on and warm the tip up a little bit and then unscrew it. And then I would use one point for inserting all my components. So now your insert is in at the depth you wanted it at, your collar is on with a tiny little bit of glue on it, so it should stay on and not fall off at all. And you can now screw whatever you want in and out without too much grief. Here's a little burr on that one. There we go. And what you have is an end that when you hit something hard, it'll have a much harder time breaking. You're only losing, oh, I want to say it's like 3/8 of an inch of the end of an arrow, so you don't have to cut your arrows 1 inch or 1.5 inches longer to cover up your collar, and you're keeping the weight down. So comment down below on what you think of this new product and other products that we've made. What else should we make? Is there products that are necessary that nobody's thought of yet or that could be done better? Always like that feedback. Make sure to follow on the Instagram. We're going to start doing some giveaway stuff here pretty soon. That'll be based off of buying on the website and whatnot, but I don't want to drop too many hints about that because we're not quite there yet because we're waiting for a bunch of swag. But when that swag gets here, watch out. We got giveaways coming. Should be fun. Thanks for watching.